Welcome, everybody. I'm Joe Tarnowski, and thank you so much for joining us. My guests today are Michelle Algazi and Simone Sakal with Soli, which makes several lines of healthy food products, including this fruit jerky, which is one of my favorite snacks. Now, they have been longtime participants in our sessions. They've been wildly successful with their buyer meetings, as well as on Range Me. So today we're going to talk about the company, its products, and we're going to explore a little bit what are the secrets to their success in engaging buyers. So, Michelle, Simone, thank you so much for joining us. And to start off, can you give us an overview of the company and its line of products? Because I know you expanded since I first met you a couple of years ago.
Yeah, of course. I'll tell you a bit about the brand, and then Michelle will explain the rest. So we've been in the market for more than 20 years, Joe. We built this company as an vertically integrated company from farms to brand and to product. So we basically we have three different business lines. We work with institutions all around the world, especially in Latin America, to try to bring fruit to kids that have no access to fresh fruits. And we invented some technologies to do that. And we have a big program in Mexico to do so. Then we also do some ingredients. We have an ingredient company that's fairly large, and we use a lot of our fruits to do that. And then we have Soli, which is the cherry on the cake, and it's the most important part of the business in terms of potential, on which we put all the technologies that we've developed and everything that we've learned and the best products that we have onto a platform that has very interesting attributes and values. And I'll go into that briefly. So in terms of vertical integration, we have a couple of industrial facilities in Mexico, manufacturing plants in Mexico, and we have another one in Costa Rica. The reason to be there is because we have to be near the tropical fruit crops, which are in the tropics, of course. And we source all of our fruits directly from farmers that we know and we work with. And we really make a big deal about that, because we work with the farmers on three different levels. First, on selecting or on getting the perfect fruit to the market. That means we have a very high quality control, because since our brand has nothing added, we need that the product is perfect in terms of flavor, color, etc. So in order to do that, we work with them in three different ways. We help them turn their farms into organic. Second, we use all the yield of the farm, meaning that all the ugly fruit that now everyone talks about, we use it, but we also use the beautiful table fruit, and we use everything. So that gives the farmer a lot of control over his finances, gives him a lot of more income than trying to sell everything at once.
So if there's a fruit that might not be pretty enough to put on a store shelf, if they were just dealing with a retailer, the retailer may not want that fruit, but you could use it for your products.
Yeah, of course. So let me just give you some numbers. So usually it depends on the fruit and it depends on the season and the region, etc. But usually you can only use around 70% of a yield of a crop for table fruit or pretty fruit, and you have 30% that goes unused, mostly unused. So what we do, that means that instead of selling 70 tons, a farmer can sell 100 tons of fruit. So their impact is huge in their income, but also in environmentally, there's a huge impact because you use the same amount of land, the same amount of water, the same amount of fertilizers, the same amount of work, the same amount of everything, and you get 50% more yield, more calories that get into the market. And that's huge. And we also help the farmers transition to organic. That's a 3-year commitment on our sides and their sides. And that's huge. And we also help them get better yields with best practices on organic farming and all that. And that really makes a difference. And then we manufacture every product that we sell, we manufacture ourselves in these facilities. We have around 1,500 people working with us globally. And we develop our own technologies, and we have different patents, worldwide food processing patents, to make the products, because it's very, very difficult to make a one ingredient product. It sounds the simplest possible, but it's the most difficult, because you have to have, as I said at the beginning, the perfect raw material. So the flavor and the smell and the looks and everything from the product is amazing. So we invented some process technologies. We even build our own machinery to make the products. And with that, we created Solely, and Solely is envisioned as a platform. And this platform has 3 things, and I'll explain that, and then Michelle will follow up. But we have, first of all, we always do very indulgent products. We do not believe in niche, healthy but not indulgent. We think every food has to taste very good in order to be a sustainable thing and sustainable business. Second, we really believe in clean food, and by clean food is just a few ingredients that are as clean as it gets. So, like, this product, Joe, in this case, one whole fresh organic mango. It's as clean as it gets. It's one organic fruit pressed into this product, and that's an example. But every product that we have 3 or less ingredients right now, and then we are fairly priced. So our products are priced for massive consumption, not for niche consumption. And we can leverage that because we are vertically integrated. And all that together bring very, very interesting and unique products to the market. And you can help me with this, Michelle, but we have 4 different lines as of today.
Yeah, so thank you, Simon. So as a result of this patented technology that was developed over time, basically what we are able to achieve and accomplish is to keep all the nutrients and the flavors, the aromas, the organoleptics of the fruit, but process it in a way as to eliminate a lot of the water. So in addition to all the environmentally sound practices that Simon has mentioned, the other environmentally sound practice is that by eliminating a lot of the water in the fruit, we are transporting mostly the fruit and not the water. So that really reduces the carbon footprint of the company overall. We save on transportation costs, on fuel consumption, and so on and so forth. So we have 4 lines of products that are all award-winning, that are the result of these patented technologies that have resulted in products that do not exist in the marketplace. The first one you talked about, the jerky that you love, Joe, there, and that Simon showed, it's a very unique product. It is a cold-pressed organic fruit. So the only thing that we do is we slice and dice the mango and we cold press it using our patented technologies. What that results in is that we eliminate a lot of the water, but all the nutrients, the flavors, the aromas of fresh fruit are maintained. And the form factor is super practical. You have a shelf-stable product with 1-year shelf life that is very compact and that is packaged in a way that makes it very convenient for consumers to carry in their back pocket, in their purse, whatever it is. So unique product. It launched extremely successfully in the marketplace. It was the most successful launch for Whole Foods in their functional snack set. For example, Whole Foods was one of our first partners, and we've become very, very strong partners with Whole Foods. We actually became their global supplier of the year last year as a result of the very symbiotic relationship that we've developed. It is very much a collaborative process, which to a great extent we try to encourage with every one of our partners, including your platform. We really believe that we all give of ourselves, and if we all give equally, we get to a higher level of execution and excellence, which is really what we're looking to do. So the jerky became again a best-selling item with high velocities, velocities that are well exceed the average for the category. It's an award-winning product. It won Best Sweet Snack of the Year for the Next Year Awards and has been recognized across a number of different institutions and platforms. In addition to that, we have a more traditional dried fruit, but only traditional in the form factor. Very unique, very different to what exists in the marketplace. Our product, because we're vertically integrated, because we never use sulfites or preservatives, because we do not age by using gases and other methods that make the fruit more or tougher, a bit harder. What we have is the best quality dried fruit out there, organic dried fruit. And because of what Simon was saying about our vertical integration, we can achieve a price that is extremely competitive in the market, probably the most competitive on an ounce per ounce basis. So great second product line. We have extended that slightly from single ingredient products like mango, pineapple, and banana to some more indulgent products with cacao drizzle. We've invented a way, for example, to drizzle single ingredient cacao, 100% cacao, so not full of sugar or soy or lecithin, vanilla, whatever goes into candy chocolate. We've been able to drizzle pure chocolate into our dried fruit as well as our jerky. So our jerky, we have 11 SKUs. We have several SKUs in the dried fruit area, in this what we call specialty dried fruit, which is the more indulgent. In addition to the cacao, we have products with chili and salt that are great crossover products for different types of consumers who like more exotic flavors or more spicy, sweet combinations, like you.
Chili and
And
salt is the one that I have.
exactly. Now that's an amazing flavor and it's extremely popular. We recently launched, and we're extremely proud of this product. It's a line of gummies of fruit snacks that are exceptional, innovative, groundbreaking. We of course believe in what we do, and we drink our own Kool-Aid to a certain extent. But this is an amazing disruptive product. It's a gummy that has no gelatin, no gum, no sugars, no flavors, no added colors. It's 99% fruit. We were able, with our deep technology and our deep R&D bench, we were able to develop a unique product that no one can replicate, and that is based on patented technology. So imagine a parent having the opportunity of offering the indulgent experience of candy to a child, but with all the great benefits of fruits, all the vitamins, all the fiber, no added sugar, nothing else. So it's a mind-blowing product. We launched it at the middle of last year, and it's been growing by leaps and bounds. And last but not least, we again just on the concept of innovating, of breaking the box, of trying to create disruption in the marketplace, we created a single ingredient dried spaghetti squash that serves as a replacement for pasta with 85% less carbs and calories than pasta. And again, nothing else but
Sure.
the single ingredient, and it is also certified gluten free. So our product line is all organic, all non-GMO project verified. It's also certified kosher, all of it, of course, vegan, and naturally gluten-free, and certainly no added sugar for anything that we do. So those are just a few examples, and the market has really embraced what we've had to do. We've become the fastest growing natural fruit snack line in the country per Nielsen. We have grown to have about 30,000 points of distribution across classes of trade over the past 35 months since we launched the brand, starting at Whole Foods, as I mentioned, and then growing from there. We are selling our product across channels and classes of trade. We are doing amazingly well at CVS in the drug channel. We're doing really well at clubs, in the club and warehouse club channel. We're obviously grocery, natural specialty stores, convenience stores. We just opened up 7-Eleven. We're very proud to now, as Simone is saying, being able to offer this on a massive scale. And we're growing by leaps and bounds. So really, to a great extent, we owe the growth trajectory to becoming and continuing to be very proactive in the face of adversity at the beginning of the pandemic, most suppliers, more people, most companies in the space were scratching their heads to try to see how they were going to meet buyers. Especially imagine a startup that just launched a few months before the pandemic, like Soli. How could we have reached out to buyers? How could we have been able to have an active selling process in the middle of the pandemic, where most buying organizations were trying to either keep their existing assortments or very much limiting contact with suppliers. And so this is a perfect segue into saying, this partnership with ECRM that we struck very early in our life as a company, has been an incredible opportunity for us to be able to continue selling, to continue presenting, to create awareness amongst this important group of buyers that we cater to, and keep that communication going, and being as successful as we have been.
So I know you've been to a lot of our sessions. I think I went in and I counted. It's been like 20. So you must have had, and like you said, the first session where we met was the last in-person session that we did in the U.S. before the pandemic. And then after that, all of them have been on virtual. And so you must have had hundreds of buyer meetings over the past 2 years throughout the virtual platform. And, before we get into some kind of like what you feel are some of the secrets to your success in those meetings, could you talk a little bit about some of the successes that have come from your buyer meetings?
Of course, yeah. Like in the regular marketplace with consumers, it's all about reach and frequency, right? It's all
Mm-hmm.
about being able to reach to the right group of people and then talk to them about our product line in a compelling way, but frequently enough for them to consider the product, consider the brand, and then eventually make a purchasing decision. So, from that perspective, the reason that we have leaned in with ECRM and have done so many of the sessions is because we believe in that value of reach and
Mm-hmm.
frequency. And the reality is that buyers do as well, because we have met with people 2 and 3 times on your platform with the same people,
Mm-hmm.
and it takes on occasion that amount of time to go through the consideration process and the qualification process and get things done. So that has led to amazing opportunities with top retailers. We met CVS on the platform. We've met a lot of the club brands on the platform. We've met tons of regional retailers, and really across channels, as you might have seen when you looked at what events we had participated in. We have participated at events across every channel. We've done convenience, we've done snacks, we've done grocery, we've done natural, we've done organic, we've done vegetarian or vegan. So we really wanted to reach out to a cross section of all buyers by leaning in and really being, narrow casting our message, because as we have described, the brand really ticks most of the boxes that consumers are certainly looking for, but certainly buyers as well, now understanding more and more of the consumer needs.
Well, certainly for me, I mean, especially over the past few years, I've been in on a big health and wellness journey, and so I'm very excited to try your pasta. The squash pasta, because I haven't had like spaghetti or pizza or anything in months, and so my store doesn't have it. My store has like 3 shelves of your things, but it's just I think it's the gummies and then the jerky. But I'm definitely looking forward to trying that. But it ticks so many boxes, like you mentioned. It's indulgent, so it tastes great. It's sweet, so the kids will like it. The moms will like it because it's healthy. You still have the fiber in there. You still, it's not like fruit juice where they may take out all of the fiber, and so it's got all the good stuff in it. You don't have added sugars. So, for me, as far as a snack, this is something that I would naturally go to just because it's got the good stuff in there and it tastes great. So, and you can, like you said, you can get it everywhere. It's something that is perfect for a convenience store or a grocery store. I mean, you can really have these on every corner. So, and I know that you've been in your meetings, right? One of the things I really appreciate you saying, because I say it a lot to suppliers, but for me, it sounds like, well, we're just selling, our sessions, is the importance of repetition, getting in front of the same buyers year over year, because it does have benefits. One, you get to adapt your message to them, and you get to, like, you get feedback from them the first meeting, the second meeting you present to them in terms of their feedback and show them your new items, and plus coming back again and again just validates that your company is doing well too.
Absolutely does, and it's understandable. I think that buyers are just inundated with messaging, right, from all sorts of brands, all sorts of products. So it takes a little bit of time for them to really analyze what's out there and try to, cut through the clutter and get to what really works and the essentially better products. And the great thing is that about our brand and how we communicate its benefits, it's really about simplicity. So hopefully through the process of consideration and rationalization that buyers carry out as they consider a brand, they go through the process of really cutting to the essence of what it is that they're looking for and understanding their consumer needs. And consumers are clearly looking for portable fruit snacks that don't have any sugar added and that are simple from an ingredient point of view and clean from an ingredient point of view. So again, we tick all the boxes. But it takes a little bit of time for buyers to, again, cut through the clutter and get to the essence of what's important to them. And so we're happy to sit with them. The great thing is that the sessions are super efficient. We have, and this probably is a segue to how we structure the sessions, but we have really taught ourselves, and our whole team has been involved in these things. We have about 12 people participating at most of the events. And we have really trained ourselves to be very succinct, to be able to, within the 10 minutes that we have, to be able to get to the end of our part of the presentation within 6 or 7 minutes and have at least 3 to 4 minutes for buyers to really ask questions and have any of their concerns or doubts answered. And it really is about getting to the essential, right? When you have so little time, you need to be able to learn to get to the essence and to focus on what's important. And so clearly for us, what we try to convey is a sense of traction. The product has immense traction in the marketplace. It has been validated by consumers. From the value that we offer, the sort of benefits that we offer buyers really needs to be really clear from the outset of our process. And it is understood that they want a product that's innovative. They're all looking for innovation. They understand that they need to be getting destination driving products into their stores, right? They all want to be different from the other stores. They want something unique, something innovative, something different. So innovation, differentiation is key. Velocity and success on the shelf, of course, is of paramount importance. And now we have enough of a track record after 35 months of being in the market to show that our velocities are, again, out, above the average. And importantly, that we come in and lean in. That cannot be understated. One of the great advantages and benefits, I think that, and frankly, one of the great factors of success has been that we come in and we promote heavily. We partner with our retail partners and make sure that the consumer is going to get the chance to try the product. So we have temporary price discounts. We have other ways of promoting, and it's been extremely successful.
That's very important. The buyers definitely want to know how you're going to support the product once it's on the shelf, in order to get it off the shelf into the consumer's baskets. So it's great that you also talk about that in your meetings. Before you do your meetings, as you're getting ready for it, what kind of homework do you do? How do you prepare for a particular session?
Well, that's really important. We do a lot of research. We have bought data from the main suppliers of data, Nielsen, IRI, Spins, in the past, and we really lean in with our brokers, understand the needs of the retailer, understand what their shelves look like, their planograms, try to figure out if there are gaps. We look at their category development indices to try to understand whether they're fully stocked of the products that are driving the growth in their sales. So we do a lot of diligence ahead of the meeting. So when we prepare our presentations, there's a core part of the presentation that explains the background that might be repeated, but at the end of the day, a lot of it is not. A lot of it is really customized to our retailers' needs. And to a great extent, we believe that buyers and merchants really appreciate to be sitting in front of a party that understands their needs, that has done research, that has done diligence, and that will present something of value to them that they can take and process and then make decisions on.
That's great. I mean, you nailed it. It's all about the buyer. It's all about their needs. That's what you're presenting. That's what you need to show them is how you're going to help them with their category. So, do you use a lot of slides?
No, I guess we have arrived at about 16 or 17
Hmm.
slides. That's been kind of the sweet spot. We tend, as I said, on occasion we might expand that a little bit, but I think that's a sweet spot. We try to breeze
Hmm.
through those. We try not to cut corners. I think the background on the company, the fact that we're vertically integrated, and especially today where the supply chain is so disrupted, I think that retailers will see the fact that we can supply product, that we're never going to be out of stock, that
Hmm.
be able to keep their shelves full of product. They see that as great value. So we never want to cut corners on that part, on the fundamentals and the mission of the company. For us, our mission is super important. The social impact and the environmental impact of how we've built our business is extremely important part of our identity. So we want to communicate it. And frankly, what's been surprising, but not surprising, but really rewarding for us is to know that buyers really understand, and that resonates with them on a personal basis. A lot of them are now very, very conscious of the environmental impact of products and
Hmm.
how um, and the way they're made or grown is hugely important. So that is important. We go through the process, and within three minutes or so, we get to the essence of what they're wanting to hear, which is product assortment, merchandising options. For us, merchandising is extremely important. Our product is very efficient, space efficient as well.
Hmm.
If you look at the jerky, it's about 2 inches, right, wide. So we can be much more space efficient on a per inch, linear inch
Hmm.
basis. And it's important for them to realize that our product will be more productive on a from the perspective of space efficiency. So all that needs to be mentioned. So we start with assortment. We then move on to pricing, price comparisons, performance in the marketplace, velocity, and then we create an offer that's specific to the retailer.
That's great. And I'm sure the vertical integration makes them feel very comfortable in the light of all the supply chain issues they're facing with a lot of suppliers. They know you're going to have product. That's a big deal these days, believe.
No, absolutely is, and we have had the privilege of sitting with buyers who have influence over thousands of points of distribution,
Hmm.
and they've shown on their smartphone, they've shown us their shelves, and a great part of the frustration that exists in the market right now is just empty shelves.
Hmm.
And so for us, it's a perfect opportunity to say, our product category is growing. There's growing demand for our product and for products within our category. We have the ability to supply everything that you need, and we have the resilient supply chain
Hmm.
that will allow us to have continuous flow of product onto the shelf.
And all of the sustainability factors too. It's just icing on the cake. They love that.
Absolutely, and they know consumers like it, and
Hmm.
especially younger consumers are very, very interested in knowing that the products they consume are clean, that there's someone looking at the practices, the business practices to make sure they're ethical. And we tick all the boxes from that point of view as well.
Yeah, and you leave a lot of time for Q&A too. I mean, for discussion, a few minutes at the end of each meeting, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been the case that we have chosen the 10-minute format. By the way, we understand that you have
Hmm.
different formats, and the 10-minute format for us is the most
Hmm.
effective. And so, yeah, we leave at least of 3 to 4 minutes, and on occasion, we finished before the time,
And they
which
love that.
yeah, which is fine by us.
Yeah. So awesome. And now on Range Me, like I mentioned, you guys have been very successful. Tell me about your experience with Range Me.
Well, like in e-commerce situations, you need to optimize your presence on RangeMeet to have all the right tags, all the right keywords, so that when people look for certain important things for them, they're going to find you, right? So to a great extent, it's about SEO almost in the same way as you would do this in regular e-commerce. It is about being thorough and having all the details about the product, having nice glory shots of the product, having the full assortment on there, and being responsive as well. The platform allows you to have some degree of communication with buyers, at least one way. We understand why that needs to be done in the way that it is done, where buyers require some degree of confidentiality, so they're not going to be fully reachable on the platform, but at least they're going to be able to communicate with
Mhm.
us. We want to be as responsive as we can, and so, as I mentioned, most of our sales team is registered on both RangeMe as well as on ECRM, and so that allows us to very quickly direct emails and inquiries to whomever needs to receive them and follow up on. So we use the platform a lot. Not only have we done, I think, a good job at merchandising our product on our brand page, but we also use a platform to get insights on who has looked at our page. We, again, not by name, but at least by company, by retailer. That's interesting insight. If we know that we've had dialogue with a buyer at a certain retail store, and we see that they've been looking at our page on a repeated basis, we know that there's a level of interest and awareness, and we reach out to them at that particular moment. So that makes it more likely to be a successful communication. So there's great tools. We would love it. We would love to continue seeing the feature set evolve into more of a bilateral type of communication platform. And we have shared all those requirements and requests with your team as much. And that's another great thing that I value about your team, is that because we've done ECRM so frequently, because we use RangeMe so deeply, we have communicated with your team about, proposed feature changes, and they have listened very often. We see what we have requested implemented on the system the next month. So that's just an amazing perk to being part of the platform and partners with you guys.
Awesome. Well, glad to hear it. And yeah, we definitely are into listening to our customers and evolving, constantly, continually evolving. I mean, that's why we're doing all this stuff virtually. I mean, that was an evolution we kind of all had to make, but now it's just kind of the new normal, even though that phrase is overused. But which brings me to the final point is virtual and just digital together. I mean, where do you see digital and virtual technology playing a role? I mean, you've been so successful. Like I said, you went to one session in person and then another, almost 20 of them virtual, and then you've been crushing it on RangeMe. Where do you see the future of digital? How is digital going to play a role for a company like yours down the road?
Well, I definitely think that digital is here to stay and grow and represent a larger and larger part of the overall business. I think that buyers and brands alike have realized that there is value in being in a virtual environment, that we save a lot of time not having to travel. I'm sure buyers are extremely busy, and they appreciate the opportunity of not having to move around to be able to have vendor meetings. So from a time-saving point of view, there's no question that there's value. I think from an efficiency in communication, there's also great value, because to be forced to be able to communicate within 10 minutes the whole value proposition of your brand and your product line is important. To be able to really train your team to be succinct and effective in communication has been effective. It's a net gain for the industry, and in return, the buyers also probably have that ability to, within a very short period of time, make some initial decisions of where they're going to go. So I think that virtual meetings are going to remain. I think that we do value face-to-face, and we'll jump on a plane to meet with anyone who'd like to see us. But I do think there's going to be kind of a hybrid approach going forward, where we're going to have the vast majority of meetings virtually, and then some key meetings in person. And I think that's perfectly fine. That will allow us to save some money on transportation, save some time in terms and being more effective. But hopefully over time, there's going to be a good balance struck, so that we can still have that very, very important in-person rapport with our partners. As far as the tools that are offered digitally, well, they're invaluable, right? So you can get to the bottom, to the real essence of the product line, to all the benefits, the pricing, all the right information at your fingertips if you're a decision maker. And so that will just become stronger and stronger and more valuable. If anything, I think using or leveraging artificial intelligence to be able to help buyers parse through everything that's available out there and get to what they really want is going to be important. So I think an advancement in the technology is going to be really important.
That's awesome. That's a great view of it, and I'm hearing that myself. And speaking to buyers, It seems like they're looking at a hybrid role down the road, or just ongoing, where maybe they'll use digital and virtual for that first line of vetting new suppliers. And then as the relationships develop or there's more complex conversations, then that would require an in-person meeting. As the relationship builds, you want to get to know them. And so I see that hybrid happening down the road as well. And I like the artificial intelligence thing. That I see that happening down the road as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that we're all submerged in information. So any tools, any way to cut through all the massive amount of information to get to the essence to what it is that we need is going to be important. So anyone, and hopefully you guys, that takes the lead in terms of technology and in being able to offer the tools that are great and easy to use and effective, will be ahead of the pack for sure.
Is AI another request from you to our guys?
Well, I guess the buyers and the merchants would have that request on
Yeah.
my side. My side is just more tools to communicate, more tools to better understand who it is that we're talking to. Maybe, uh, in terms of the platform itself, it's super easy to use. So no improvement needed there. It's very, very straightforward.
Awesome. Well, like I said, you've been crushing it on both areas. So congratulations on your success. And I look forward to continually seeing you grow and trying your new squash pasta. So, Michelle, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Joe. We really appreciate the partnership and the outreach, and we look forward to many more years of close collaboration.
Definitely.
Have a great day.
You too.